Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I bought a few pieces from Tom Ford. I ordered them online from Selfridges without trying them. I'm not sure whether this is the Tom Ford Autumn Fall, if you're American, collection, or a kind of in-between season collection. I thought it was the autumn release, but I've seen photos of kind of lip liners and pencils and some eye creams as well, which I think are coming soon. So I'm not quite sure whether it's a seasonal release or what it is. And I'm not entirely sure what it's called either. I think it might be the Night Bloom or Orchid Bloom collection is the kind of global name for it. But what this collection definitely is about is playing on the ridged packaging of the Black Orchid collection. So I've put some fragrances from Tom Ford's Black Orchid collection in the background, the Ordinary Eau de Parfum hairspray and the Eau de Toilette. So that you can see. And of course, more recently, they've brought out an Orchid Soleil in a kind of rose gold flask that I desperately wanted to love. They brought it out a few weeks ago in advance of this collection. It's very like the White Soleil perfume that they brought out earlier this summer as a summer piece. So if you like that, I suspect you'd like the Orchid Soleil as well. As I say, I wanted to love it because I love the whole Black Orchid range, although I didn't like Velvet Orchid very much. And I liked this Orchid Soleil a bit better. It was like a slightly more flowery version, as I say, of the ordinary white bottled Soleil perfume, but I didn't love it, and it didn't to me bear any relationship to the Black Orchid perfume, which I love so much. So in the end I passed on that, but I do love this ridged packaging. So I ordered 3 items. Don't get confused by all the lipsticks in the background that I'm going to make comparisons with. I ordered both the lipsticks, which are these two. So a velvet and an orchid, the purple of the velvet, the black of the orchid. Then there are 2 powders, but Selfridges only at the moment has one of them, the black one, which is called Black Bloom. There's also a purple compact, which has a lavender pink type powder in it. And then there are 2 solid perfumes as well, the Black Orchid and the Velvet Orchid. And I toyed with getting the Black Orchid. I think I'll definitely go along and have a look, feel, smell of it in store, because of course I do love the Black Orchid fragrance, and it would be a nice thing to have in my handbag. But it's fiendishly expensive. It's £120, which seems to me a lot to pay for a solid perfume, because they are much cheaper to produce. There's a lot of wax in there rather than precious oils. So I do think that's a real rip-off. And it's not as if the compact is that gorgeous, but who knows? I do love the fragrance, so I may end up with that. So what do I think about what I got? Well, first of all, here's the powder, which, as I say, is called a Night Bloom powder, whatever that may mean. Seems to me to be a bit of a hybrid between a highlighter and a highlighting powder. This one, as I say, is called Black Bloom. First thing to say about the compact, I do like it. It's quite lightweight. It, fits in with the aesthetic. But what I don't love is the new pouch that it comes with. This is a much kind of thicker material than the stretchy suedeette that we've been used to in the past. And it's really tight getting the compact in and out. I suppose it might be more substantial for your handbag, but just feels somehow a bit cheaper than they used to be. Then the powder itself. Now I was prepared for this because I'd seen Megan's video about this. I might try and link it below. She's an American woman of about my age and similar colouring, bit warmer colouring than I am. Who buys a lot of high-end makeup or gets sent it, I don't know. And she wasn't a huge fan of this, and it showed up very gold on her, so I was kind of prepared. It's looking lighter in my monitor than how gold and glittery it is in real life, and it's definitely a powder. There you can see a good heavy swatch on my finger. It goes on this kind of really gold, buttercuppy gold powder that definitely shows up. So it's not going to be a natural look as a highlighter, and yet it's definitely too glittery really to wear as a powder. I mean, I have quite a high tolerance of shimmer and glitter, as you know. I will also say that it doesn't feel bad. I mean, it's smooth. It's not dry, but it's definitely not as smooth as some of the previous highlighting powders. So thinking particularly of Mood Light, which was a very successful duo last year, and that's this kind of jelly to powder highlighting, which just feels much more luxurious and creamy and, I don't know, more nuance than this kind of very in-your-face blocky colour, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, there they are. It's partly to do with colour tone, I guess, but also texture. So, I haven't really worn this yet. I had a little kind of pat with it last night, but I'm not sure how I'm going to wear it. So I kind of love the packaging. I don't hate the powder, but I think it's less useful than a lot of their previous releases. And it's pretty expensive. It's £55 over here. So, you know, while I might think, oh, that's lovely for maybe 30, 35, 55 definitely seems overpriced even to me. And we know my tolerance of high-priced cosmetics is pretty strong. So, so far, not overwhelmingly a fan. The two lipsticks. I got the Black Orchid, and I knew this was going to be a hard shade for me to wear because it's very dark. I think they've released, well, I know they've released it before, and it's been part of previous collections. Certainly a colour called Black Orchid. I've never bought it, so I don't know. There you see a deep, rich blood red. I've worn this once. It does, there you go. It's a bold colour, but it's a very nice texture. There's a bit of slip and slide in it, quite a lot of sheen, so it's more forgiving than a matte. But for me, it's quite a tough colour to wear, so it's not like I'm going to be wearing it a lot. I haven't really got much in my collection that's similar. I looked in kind of lips and boys, and the most similar one I've got is Alistair, which you can see I've hardly, if ever, worn. And if anything, that's a bit paler, more shimmery, more wearable, to be honest. And then quite close to this range is one of my Rouge L'Or Velvets from Chanel. I have worn this quite a bit, called L'Impatiente, which is a bit more matte and velvety, but you can see very, very similar in tone. And I do wear that in the winter a bit, but it's a nice colour, very polished colour. I think quite a mature colour, but definitely goes with a kind of full polished makeup. The other one, which is in the very pretty purple packaging, is called Velvet Orchid, like the perfume. And that looked immediately much more promising as an everyday wear. It's not really showing up. This kind of mid-toned, deep rosy pink or a plummy pink. I don't know how to quite describe that. But it has got kind of little flecks of gold in it, which is the sort of thing Tom Ford does so well. So I thought that was very promising, and you can see it's very pretty. I have to say it pulls much warmer on my lips for some reason than it looks in the bullet. And it's a bit of a nothing colour on. It's definitely wearable, gives a bit of definition to the lips, but I don't think you'd think it was anything very special. I tried to pull out what was similar in my Lips and Boys. This is Carey, definitely less glittery and a bit bolder and warmer. So you can see, because they look so similar in the tube, how much more less dense this one is actually on the lips, this formula. And the other one was Drake, which I pulled out. You can see definitely darker and pinkier, plummier. This was one of my real favourites when I got it last autumn. You can see looks a lot less neutral. So when I actually swatch those, they look nothing alike. And they do, these two look, much more pronounced on the lips. This honestly is a bit, like a lip stain rather than a lipstick. It's very comfortable. It's perfectly nice, but it's £42, which is a lot of money really for a lip colour that's just like a not very staining lip stain. So overall, I'm having to say that I'm a bit disappointed with this release. The packaging is gorgeous, the promotional material is sensational, but I think all of the items are a bit overpriced. If you haven't got the iconic Black Orchid lipstick and you think you'll wear it, then this is time to snatch it because it always sells out. But the other two, I'm not sure I would really say, they're worth going for at all. And I know that the velvet one of these is a kind of pinky lavender powder that doesn't really show up from the swatches I've seen on other YouTubers' videos. I'll definitely link Megan below, which would kind of make you look too red if you wore it as a powder, a finishing powder, but doesn't really show up much as a cheek colour. So it's a funny old collection and not really the quality and imagination that we've come to expect from Tom Ford. So just my thoughts, sadly. Be interested to see what other people think about it, but I'm not overwhelmed at the moment. So until next time, bye for now.